I remember we had Seders that were like ethnic conglomerations. There would be black people at Seders, and there were Hispanics, and there were Catholics and Jews, and every mix. We always had a very large Seder when we were kids growing up, and we probably have 30, 35 people.
When I was about 10, we went to have a Seder with Colonel Mac Mackler, old icon of Sherizetic, late 50s. And Rabbi Zlanka showed up. Made a little kid to me, said, "Oh my God, you have a rabbi at your Seder? We'll never get to eat." I was starving.
They were really boring. It seemed as if we went through the entire liturgy. My sister always had fallen asleep by the time we hit the Afikomen, and then would wake up to find it.
We always do Passover at my house. We have a group of cousins, and they all come, and we alternate. Each holiday is at a different cousin's house. So I get Passover, and one year we were doing it in Hyde Park, and one of my cousins lives in Orlando, and she worked for a radio station, so she said, "Would it be okay if I brought a guest?" And we said, "Sure, I mean, anybody's welcome, the more the merrier." And so we opened the door, and who's standing there with his guitar? Peter Yarrow. So he sang Puff the Magic Dragon, and he sang all the Passover songs, and all the children sat on his lap, and that was very exciting.
My father bought for two Zuzim, an only kid. And we had Doc beat the child. My father bought for two Zuzim, an only kid. Obviously, if we did this more often, more than once a year, I'd know all the lyrics with the book.
My father had the worst handwriting of anyone I've ever known. But in the margins of the Haggadahs were the names of some of the people who he was going to ask to read. And so you would see everybody in the family's name, but you would also see Steve Otto's name, and you would see all kinds of names that you hadn't, people you didn't even remember anymore.
We have a lot of non-Jews come to our Seder too. It puts on the best face of Judaism, I believe. It's just a fun celebration, Jew or non-Jew. It tells the stories from the Old Testament, which non-Jews believe in. Anyway, I think the Seder, Passover, is my favorite holiday of the year. I think many items are cool about Judaism. One is its emphasis on celebration in the home with the family.
After my great-grandparents died, things kind of picked up. And then my grandmother started inviting the Antoninis, who I assumed were Jewish because they came to Seder. But they were actually Italian, and that's where I learned the secret of a great Seder is inviting non-family members.